Welcome back to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Time now for everyone except Michelle's favorite game, no fence riding. The concept is simple. I've got a statement for our panel. They got to decide which side of the fence they're on, no riding, or they get called out. And here to deliver today's statement, the one and only Mike Leslie from 1 week ago.
There are parts of having a salary cap that are a positive. It helps have parity in sports, but it is also one of the great cons in the history of professional sports because all it has done is create a scenario where fans side with billionaires when players want to make checks. It's lunacy to me, and they're going to do it with George Pickens, they're going to do it with Brandon Aubrey, they're going to do it with everybody, and for what? What?
This is a much longer discussion, I feel like.
Yes,
I need to segue into next
that...
week. Segue into next week. He decided to spring this on me for the final take while we were already taping and running 5 minutes over, by the way. But here's the statement. The salary cap is a scam because it makes fans side with billionaires when players want to make money. Saad, lead us off here. Do you agree or do you don't?
I completely disagree. I mean, are we watching the Dodgers right now? Are we watching Major League Baseball? Do we like what's happening in Major League Baseball? I don't think anybody does. It's the Dodgers, it's the Yankees, it's the Red Sox. So you have the example right there in front of you. I think the salary cap, it's all about how much you're listening to what they're telling you because Jerry will sell you about how they're cap strapped all the time. I was at the NFL Combine a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking to John Eric Sullivan, the general manager of the Miami Dolphins, and he made a great point because they're facing a big decision on Tua, and with free agency that could result in a $99 million cap hit. And to his point, he said, you can do whatever you want with the salary cap. You can punt it down the road. You can do it. You have the creativity and flexibility. So, yeah, if you're just buying what they're selling to you at the podium, it's not great. But overall, I think the salary cap it makes the game more fun.
Joe?
I would say this. With the way that the Cowboys have used the salary cap as a shield at times, I do believe it absolutely becomes a scam. But here's the actual real scam of it all, because all the salary cap is a governor for the owners who really want to spend and pay these players what they could be worth for their team. They don't do that because they have the salary cap to blame. It keeps other owners from not getting into disputes with their fellow brethren. Don't you dare pay him that much money, because if you pay him that much, then I'm going to have to pay him that much. I think you bring up a great point in terms of baseball and the Dodgers. You're right, because baseball has a problem with the floor of their salary cap. The NFL, I think it's different, right? Because these teams understand the gazillions of dollars that can be made when you know how to do it correctly. Baseball's different when you think about TV rights, them being local, not being, shared as one with revenue sharing, the CBA and all that other kind of stuff. They work differently, right? But in football specifically, absolute scam. Absolute scam. And oh, by the way, I've been trying to tell people for the better part of my career, why would you side with the billionaire and think about, hey, I can't believe Dak Prescott's going to make $60 million. Well, do you know what Jerry's worth with the team? It's $15 billion now.
Yeah.
You guys do the math.
I think the interesting thing would be if you take the salary cap off, how much would the Cowboys improve? Because would they actually spend that money, or do they like the profit margin? That's always the question.
That's a great question.
All right.
Right. I think that is a shield. And just real quick, I'll say one of the worst cap decisions in the NFL in recent memory was the Broncos with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And they were in the AFC title game 2 years after that. So
Bang.
anything can be done with the salary cap.
It's a credit card. You can always use the credit card. Great point.